I said, give me a hell yeah.
Go. I heard something rustling in the background.
Oh, my mic's broken. Ah, man, he caught my goof. All right, are we going?
Yeah.
We're live, buddy. All right, well, hi, everybody, and welcome. Where's that camera? Hi, everybody, and welcome. We're live, buddy. We're doing teleporting. Pre-taping. Judas Challenging episode of the Brothers of Discussion. We're going to talk everything from the benefits of WrestleMania being pre-taped in an empty arena, former WWE talent letting their freak flags fly.
Woo!
WWE. That and much, much more. Matt, I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you that yet another week of hot, spicy, flavorful, fajita-sizzling wrestling is upon us. That's right. I don't know why we're doing more sound effects now that we have a camera.
All right,
but Matt,
yeah.
You don't need to do that anymore. We could just say fajitas. Matt, you're in the midst of an 8-month-old. Your job's going great, and now wrestling's even better. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Honestly, I hope everybody that's having the COVID virus affect their job, stay well, live strong. Oh, wait. No, don't do that. That's a bad tagline at this point, right? Stay strong. Let's just say
Is
that.
A Lance Armstrong reference?
Yep, that's why I said that was a bad route to go.
Just in case people are going, wait, what was he referencing? I went ahead and helped you out, man. That was
Thanks.
Lance. Not Lance Storm.
Not Lance
Armstrong.
Archer.
That's not a Lance Storm or a Lance Archer.
Right. There's plenty of Lances we could have referenced that made
Lance
more
Bass.
sense for this show.
Right.
But everybody, guess what? We got video. Woo! We are doing it because we love you, and we want you to see our beautiful faces. Yeah, look at them. Couple of handsome guys. Yeah. For everybody that was like, all right, the Brothers of Discussion. So these couple of cool black guys talking wrestling. Nope. We're just a couple of plain
not cool white guys.
Now we are. Let me do this, right? This is our new. Can anybody read it? It's the Brothers of Discussion. So in case you forget, I put a T-shirt back here. So while you're watching, I feel like a weatherman right now. I'm watching my arm go up.
There's a lot of Brothers of Discussion in this area over here. If you kind of look up here, we got a big front of the Fiend, so you want to be careful.
Paperwork here. I made sure that I took all the things that could get me in trouble. Those are out of here. They're actually right here. So we're good. If you guys can read anything on this sheet, it's nothing important. So do your best. I actually didn't review, so please don't read that. Anyway, everybody, if you want more Brothers of Discussion, this will be the only video you can watch. But if you want more, yeah, you guys get to see all my dancing now while we're recording. What?
I might have to turn off my video so I don't see that. I don't.
But if you want to find more Brothers of Discussion, go to bodpodcast.com, brothersofdiscussion.com. You can find our Facebook, our live discussion group as Live Wrestling Discussion, brought to you by bodpodcast.com. We're on Instagram as the brothers_of_discussion. Did I miss anything? The Twitter is at bodpodcast. That's where we do most of our good work. And the Instagram now is just like primarily memes. If I take a screenshot and I'm inspired enough, here we go. Nice cute little meme about me. What was the one I did last night? Tony Schiavone was looking at Cody Rhodes with stars in his eyes. So of course Cody's me talking about the dream he had the night before, and Tony Schiavone is my dog listening because nobody's Nobody wants to listen to your dreams, everybody. But what are our hopes and dreams, everybody? We're hoping that you're going to subscribe, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find us now thanks to Anchor.fm. So with that being said, Mike is ready.
It's FN.
I gotcha.
It's an FN. I was trying to do a B and then I messed it up. So there's it looks like a D to you guys. Wait, it's a D to me. All right, maybe it's a B. Oh.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that because of the way we're looking at the webcams right now, that everybody's going to be trying to read the Brothers of Discussion backwards. So I apologize, but by the next episode, we'll know how this is recording. Should we do a test? Stop recording and figure it out? Nah. Well, you'll be fine. You'll know it says Brothers of Discussion.
No, you do it WWE style. Just throw it out there and see what sticks.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll check in with what AEW's doing, and then we'll copy them. And...
when they do it better in a few days.
Exactly.
Matt, we got some big news. We're finally going to talk some wrestling. WrestleMania.
I don't know if so. When you look at the camera, I'm assuming that you're peering into my soul, and then I realize no, you're looking at the camera. So then I look at your face on the screen. I'm really breaking the fourth wall here, and then I look down at my face, and I'm just staring down. It looks like I'm staring at the floor while you're talking. Go ahead.
No, it's what I got to do is probably put like a, I don't know. Like a little ducky or something, like a little toy on top of the camera, so I remember to look at her.
I should probably just move my camera.
When you're doing promos, sometimes you got to look at the camera, all right? Because I keep looking at the notes, and the camera's like up there. So I look at the notes, I look at the camera, I look at the notes, I look at the camera. I feel like Ricochet trying to cut a promo. Bingo! All right, so Matt, WrestleMania is going to be pre-taped. Okay.
Okay.
Now, we're obviously doing this for he who won't be named, COVID. I think the obvious thing is, does this dampen the experience? You know, you're watching old wrestling. Oh, it already happened. No. I think I'm going to make the argument. I think there's actually some pros to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say I've been thinking about it all week, like the different kinds of things that they'll be able to do now that they. No, I swear. Wait, let me burp. This will be the first time anybody can see the burps live.
They've been clamoring. Now you got them.
So I'm thinking of like Lucha Underground and like the cinematography efforts that were put into place for that show, because they just straight up said, this isn't going live. We're going to make this look amazing though. We're going to do some pretty sweet looking angles for our pro wrestling. Like the hard camera is gone. We're going to do something really cool. And then you think about the fact that The Fiend is wrestling at WrestleMania and how many amazing things they could do during that match. So yes, I think this will go down in history as one of the most interesting WrestleManias. It'll be the most unique, and there are a lot of negatives that go into that being unique, and starting with no crowd. And we've seen the WWE. I've loved the promos, but everything else just kind of falls flat, right? I think maybe the announcers have actually gotten better, because it's like now we're in this self-aware world where the WWE can finally jump outside of like the WWE circle or like this little bubble that they put themselves into of like making sure the network is set 1,000,000 times and things like that. And they've actually improvised a little bit, especially when it was Michael Cole and Paul Levesque out there. But with that, I'm hoping that we're getting the news that this is going to be pre-taped. I'm hoping that that's because they're telling themselves this hard camera, live audience or no live audience thing is not working. We've got to do something else. And I just, Mike, I don't know. I guess one of the most memorable matches of us growing up was The Rock and Mankind in an empty arena, and there were a lot of unique camera angles and creative choices that we can't see during a live wrestling match because it's too big of a chance to take. So were those the best creative choices? No, I think that match could be improved 10 million%. But go back and watch that. You guys will see some more creative takes and camera choices. That's the kind of thing I hope will come out of it. For me, that's my biggest pro. And since I get to go first, the biggest con, Mike, no audience. So,
Matt?
Yeah.
Every year we do this. Where, WrestleMania is like 15 matches long, takes like 5 hours.
Oh, my God.
So we've already fixed one of those issues. We're going to split it into 2 days.
Right.
The other thing is, even like the biggest, one of the bigger WrestleManias ever, happened to be in Michigan in the Silver Dome. Hogan and Andre, and they called it, kind of had, two main events, and then Steamboat and Macho Man. So I think it's pretty cool. Is what a hot take to say something's pretty cool. What you can do when you're pre-recording these matches is sequence. So then we don't have those instances where, the last match could be like a squash for Lesnar and it's only like 5 or 6 minutes. Then you're just kind of underwhelmed and you're like, oh, that's it? Now you can put these in any order you want.
Yep. I'm saying yep, not to stop you. But
what's fun about it is that it's not we don't need them in sequential order because they don't really feed into each other as much. The only year you'd really worry about that was when guys were still carrying the briefcase.
Right.
But now it's a little bit like WWE can almost do like like when Black Mirror on Netflix would kind of push you to choose particular episodes based on your interests. And so now they can kind of get a feel for how everybody likes them. This is even another thing you can do, but depending on the quality, you can kind of stagger them that way. Or, man, if they got really inventive, we're not going to be ready for it this year because this is kind of a panic situation. But it's almost like you could do that. People who like tag team matches, maybe stagger those towards the end. The people you don't care about as much, those rings of the circus that you aren't as enamored with, those could kind of, maybe in a pre-show, your own pre-show, but that's going a step ahead. What I'm saying here is now, depending on the match quality, people can get in a room, put all these matches back to back, and then just kind of map out the night and make the most successful, 4-hour program that they can do.
I think ultimately, like the pro here for both of us is that there's so many new creative and production choices they could make that. So here's what we're doing. Here's the scary part. Are we fantasy producing this show just the same as we fantasy book a WrestleMania and we hope Nakamura's gonna walk away beating AJ Styles because it just makes sense, and then then we're just getting nut punches at the end of the night. So I mean, I think there is a lot to come out of this. I'm hoping that they're going to look at this as more of an opportunity than just, I don't know, a challenge still works, but then like a roadblock.
See, we're still not taking this far enough. So one, you can just record the matches, stagger them out, kind of like, a comedian does their second best joke first and, leaves with the headliner, and then kind of, somebody pull the curtain, somebody close the show. But what we didn't consider was what a treat it was going to be to watch that triple threat, Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. And then the finish kind of ended on a botched roll-up, and then it was just kind of over, and we were like, oh, that's how Ronda loses her first match. Yay.
Oh, right.
You can redo the finish.
Yeah. That's the best point. Yeah, that is the best point. If somebody fucks up again, you know what? Cancel Shayna. I'm sorry, Shayna. You'll get your moment in the sun. Get Ronda back out there. Film a Ronda versus Becky match for 7 hours. Put the 7 hours aside. Let's make this thing look perfect. Let's do, oh my God, you know what? They should do like an old Kung Fu movie type moves. I mean, like we're going to talk about Matt Hardy teleporting later.
Yeah.
I think this is it. This is where we do like flying kicks, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like they can really take this to a whole nother level. You got me so excited. Now we're totally fantasy producing this show, and it's not gonna live up to these expectations. But goddamn, there's so many opportunities here.
Yeah, we're losing a huge element of wrestling, which is the crowd. Arguably, 90% of it is getting them to boo or cheer, and then getting the people at home excited based on the crowd noise.
Yeah.
So we got to do something, and now we can basically have perfect finishes.
Yep. It's the one thing everybody's been talking about is now WWE can have Roman Reigns win, and the whole stadium won't be booing him. Away. I was just gonna throw one more point in, and it's still piggybacking off the exact same idea, but it's just like, Stallone shooting these Rocky movies, and they're always like perfectly choreographed, and he's not doing that in one shot. They're doing a couple fights, right?
So it's like now you can totally make this almost like a wrestling movie where you could just maybe do a couple cuts and just pick the best one, take the best finish.
Oh, I'm watching you. Your video and audio are off by like a half a second. So
no!
Oh, what's he saying? No, I think so. I'm gonna step away and say that there's a ton of opportunity. I think ultimately this can be a good thing, and we shouldn't be so upset about all of these choices that are being made. Number one, that they actually are doing this show. Number two, that it's pre-recorded. I think if there's no audience, and I mean, the whole reason we do it live, right, is because of what you said, is to get the audience reaction. If the audience is out of there, make this the most clean-looking WrestleMania ever. I mean, Mike, this sounds silly, but then we all know that this is fake. I hate saying that on the show. Still real to us, but no. Mike, you have an opportunity now to sell extended cut of matches after that.
The director's cut.
I'm dead serious. Like, there's a whole nother like WrestleMania that will exist, somewhere, and it'll be something that you could sell on the network. It'll be something that they still do DVD sales, unbelievably. But yeah, they're still doing those.
What's really funny about that is like people always get mad about like you brought up Nakamura punching AJ in the nuts.
Right.
Like, you could do the Vince McMahon cut, or you could watch the Triple H cut. Ooh. That's a radically different outcome. Like,
yeah. We'll have
a whole tributary of different like fallouts from his decisions.
It'll be like the hashtag of like the Zack Snyder cut for Justice League.
Yeah.
And people swear, no, this is a good movie. I'm telling you, it's not shit like the other one. It's actually good.
Yeah.
But on top of all that, Mike, if we're coming up with these new ideas for content to put on the network, the WWE is also giving out free network during these hard times,
Daddy.
So during these hard times, we have some free WWE network. I don't know. I
really wanted to see if they'd have. I know they want to get you on the network and subscribed, and one free. That's how they get you, all those streaming services. But I really thought there was an outside chance that maybe like Fox would get the rights to some WrestleMania. I know they get to show some of the old stuff, but I just wondered if it was in the cards to get people invested in the stories.
It was interesting to me that this past Sunday it was ESPN that was showing WrestleMania 30. I didn't catch it, so I don't know if it was like a highlight show or if they were like, "Fuck it, run the whole thing, 12 hours, go." I'm guessing it was more highlights, but that would have been a prime opportunity. So is this proof that Fox is already like, they have access to the WWE, or are they like, no, this isn't what we want to put on our station?
I mean, obviously COVID is horrible, but you got to think, like, as a wrestling company and Fox with this weird product, it's the only sport they have. You got to think like, maybe we could do a little experimenting here and kind of see what the viewership is for us playing WrestleMania in its entirety, from 6 years ago. So, I think it's a missed opportunity if they don't, show the entire broadcast and, kind of see what they can kind of, worm away from Vince McMahon's, dead fingers over there. Because I think the viewership, depending on the marketing, could be pretty good. You get people watching like bowling reruns, so if you could get people watching like, the coronation of the S movement, I think you can get people watching that. It'd be like an ESPN classic kind of thing,
Well, yeah, the ultimate thing we're going to be watching, though, is going to be, and I know I might be moving quicker than we want.
No, you're good.
But that Gronk entrance, if we don't get another, like, exact replica of what we saw on SmackDown last week, what are we doing? Why is Gronk here? Gronk needs to study that tape. He's been studying tape for his whole NFL career, I think. I don't know. When you have Tom Brady as a quarterback, it doesn't matter. Anyway, studying tape the whole time. He better study every single, like, minute detail of
every nuance. Yes. Every nuance. I want
every
the exact same number of hip shakes all the way down the
grabbing the pole and grinding on it, and you could tell, like, Michael Cole's like, no.
That's not what that's for. That's not what that's for.
And I love the cut to Mojo during that too, and he wants to roll on the ground laughing so bad. I for one, I'm thinking this Gronk thing. If this is a cheerleader, I'm more okay with it. I don't think he's coming in to like win championships. This isn't a David Arquette situation. But even though now he's actually almost killing himself.
Yeah, he's out there. He's wrestling.
Just to stay on topic, the Gronk stuff. I think I'm becoming more of a fan of it. Like at first, I saw that entrance and I was like, oh boy, here we go. But the guy, he has a better delivery than Charlotte Flair. So on the stick, so I can't be too mad at him.
I don't know what you are talking about, Matt. I think she sounds really strong on the microphone.
I would love to see a feud between AJ Styles and Charlotte. Just like the match will be great, right? But goddamn, all right,
5-star, 5-time. But yeah,
I'm curious. I'm curious here, Mike, on the show notes.
Yeah.
It says WrestleMania.
Yep.
Free WWE Network.
Mm-hmm.
Gronk entrance.
Yep.
Hashtag Judas Challenge. Are we doing the Judas? I don't know the lyrics, so I'd have to.
I don't either. You just got to Sammy Guevara, hack your way through. I'm coming. Judas in my mind. I don't know. It's for all the hard work WWE does to like market and get on Fox and stuff, AEW, their marketing plan is let's see what Jericho does this week. I don't know. He picked up the Spanish God and got him to get all giggly and charismatic, and they became best friends. And they come out, and they do the song, and then all of a sudden everybody's doing the song, and I don't know. Jericho, he's just a catchphrase marketing wizard.
I wish so bad that I knew how the Lady Gaga song Judas sounded, because I'm looking up the lyrics and that's what popped up. I wish so bad, because I would be singing that right now. All right.
That would be awesome if you could get retweeted for singing Lady Gaga's Judas.
All right. So I think I have a good handle on this. Are we doing this? Am I doing it?
I don't know. Let me get the lyrics, because I'm like Sammy Guevara. I'm not quite at that cameraman's level.
Should I? Do we do a Brothers of Discussion version and we sing at the same time, or should I just jump in here and you take the second verse?
I think we open with.
You are beautiful on the inside. You are innocent personified.
And I will drag you down and
sell you out. Run away.
I am cold like December snow.
I have carved out this soul made of stone, and I will drag you down and sell you out. Embraced by the darkness, I'm losing the light. Encircled by demons, I fight.
What have I become?
Now that I've betrayed everyone I've ever loved, I push them all away.
And
I've been a slave to the Judas in my mind. Is there something left for me to say in the wreckage of my life? My life. I'm coming. Judas in my mind. I'm coming. Judas in my mind. All right, I feel like that's pretty good. I woke up my baby and now she's crying, so we should probably stop.
You woke up a lot of babies.
Yay!
Right.
I mean, if there's one thing that the WWE should copy, it's fun things like that, and that's like
Yeah, they
that's
should
another
copy
thing.
fun.
Yeah, like I tweeted at somebody today, like they were talking about Matt Hardy teleporting, and we'll get into that later. It's just another sign that AEW is just having fun with this. But the WWE has copied another thing, as we're still kind of in the WWE wrestling news. They switched their hard cam. I hope is this is sort of like AEW looks like they're doing these no audience shows better. I think they are pretty tough, and at some point I think we should just not do them live, and maybe after WrestleMania we'll see that you can just start recording these things and make them look better.
Yeah. Like they are getting so close to almost being like perfectly compliant with like COVID quarantine rules and wrestling rules. There's literally 2 guys on commentary, a cameraman, and 2 guys in the ring.
Nice and safe.
It's like, yeah, everybody was a far enough distance away. I mean, aside from the wrestlers, but we were really close to hitting every single rule, and it was entertaining, and I laughed a lot, and that's all I want out of wrestling is laughs and excitement, and it's like a Michael Bay movie, but it's live, kind of. I had a great time.
For my job, I've recorded video, and then I just go to a service that'll push it out as a live video, and then I just wait and see if somebody comments on it. So then it's like I'm still there. I'm still available. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that with this. Maybe you're watching this live.
Like, The Office?
Yeah.
It's The Office. It's one of the greatest, TV shows ever made. But there's obviously like a template for every episode, right? Mm-hmm. But they also had like episodes directed by like Paul Feig. They had the regulars, like they let the people who worked on the show, like Mindy Kaling, BJ Ryan direct episodes.
Did you just read all the stuff from that new book that came out?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was gonna say that, like Paul Feig, and they had like Harold Ramis directed episodes of The Office. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is that you can
Harold
have that
Ramis.
template, but as far as like taking those risks camera-wise, like you're saying with AEW and the new, hard cam, do it. Like this is the perfect opportunity to experiment and then even change it going forward.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, one of the funniest things to me when you watch like wrestling on the network and then wrestling today, some of the old wrestling on the network, it was a hard cam. Like that camera didn't move. It was just like 8 rows up. And it was just kind of a bird's eye view as 2 guys kind of went back and forth. And it didn't tell the story at all. Like emotionally, you didn't see their faces. There wasn't zoom-ins for like the high impact moves. And it's evolved. It's getting closer and closer. It's more cinematic. But this is such a great opportunity. There's no fans. You can get angles from anywhere.
Yeah.
You're not obscuring any views or anything like that. Like you don't have to worry about getting some, drunk guy with a obscene sign. Like, this is it, man. Like, really take advantage of it. And I feel like they're, toe in the water, but nothing they're not. Like, go ahead, jump in there, man. Like, get those weird angles with like the the camera dangling down, the camera literally in the mat, coming out of the posts, ref cam, wrestler cam. The sky's the limit. I mean,
Well, I think to jump into our next segment, like it should be tested in this Boneyard match. I don't. Have you seen anything? Yeah, bone cam.
Get a big femur and put a camera in it. When the Undertaker hits AJ, you get
don't. So they're copying AEW. Just don't Google bone cam and end up copying. I don't know what X Hamster is. All right, the bone cam.
The bone cam. Oh, that's gross.
Ew.
I don't know what this Boneyard is ready. I don't know what's going on here, Matt.
I'm excited because it seems like now this is that the proof that we needed, that there are going to be some creative chances taken. Like, we're going to roll the dice with some new camera angles or something that we'll probably never see again and we'll miss. But yeah, I mean, a Boneyard match, I don't know what the fuck that means, but we're going to find out. And again, I that's the positive out of this, right? We play what's the pros and cons of everything.
Well, like, what makes me laugh is like on WWE, I almost said wrestling. It's only WWE who does this. They'll never say a guy is getting weapons. Oh, he's getting some toys. I really hope they're not calling it a boneyard because they don't want to say the word graveyard.
Oh my God. So here's the funny thing was people on Twitter were like, did AJ Styles just fuck up and say boneyard instead of graveyard?
Thanks a lot. Now we got to run with boneyard all the way through WrestleMania. Thanks, AJ.
Right. The graphics guy just, motherfucker.
It's a big black magic marker. Stupid AJ. Made all these great graveyard posts, and now I got to do boneyard.
So again, I have no idea what it's going to be. I'm really hoping it doesn't turn into like an episode of the Flintstones and they're carrying around a couple of big white dinosaur bones.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind that because sometimes AJ, like, he kind of gets running. They could do the little bongos.
Oh, that would be kind of cute.
Across the screen.
Yeah. Didn't they do a WWE Flintstones thing? I'm pretty sure.
Because they did. I remember Scooby-Doo. I don't remember the Flintstones.
I'll look it up. I'm like 99% sure.
All right. Hey, AJ, was that a bone cam?
So just, I mean, what's funny is we put these in the wrong order. We should have followed the stand-up comedy order because the last two items on here, really
we can blitz through them. There's no obligation to linger.
Randy Orton did good on the mic.
Yeah.
And Rey Mysterio was down with the sickness. He unfortunately... you know what? Let me say this. It hasn't been officially announced, so I shouldn't say he definitely has it, but that is the rumor swirling.
Hopefully it gets better soon.
There's
kind of scary that one of the older guys on the roster got it, so it kind of...
he's still outside of the range. We just got to keep him secure in his home. You just don't go outside.
Before we move on, like our favorite, thing to do is talk about what was the Wednesday Night Wars, now it's the Wednesday Night Slaughter for AEW. Was Randy Orton looking great on the mic? But so did Seth Rollins. So did Heyman.
Oh God, yeah, that's Seth Rollins promo.
That was like his best
good.
work.
Yeah.
And I gotta wonder, like, he's pretty good live. Like, that's why he's in the spot that he's in, why he gets titles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think this also kind of proves the point of, like, what you can do when you get 2 takes. When you get 3 takes. So if you're going to tell me that, the match quality is going to match, like, the rest of the match quality is going to equal, what we saw, like, from these promos from some of the best, I think we might actually be in for a pretty good WrestleMania.
No, I that's actually a great point. So I watch these promos and I'm just assuming that they're being broadcast live. I mean, they're broadcast live, but I'm assuming that they're not pre-recorded.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to do it. We have the Psycho Sid with Jim Ross, where he thought he was being recorded. Yeah. So I mean, it does happen. He wouldn't think that if it didn't happen. So there's our proof right there. All of the Aleister Black promos happen pre-recorded. So I guess that is something that my brain, for some dumb reason, hadn't wrapped around. Like it didn't even consider the fact that these promos had gotten 12 takes. But I don't care. I love them. And if that's how
we just want the end product.
Yeah, if that's what I need to enjoy my promos, I don't know. I'm cool with that. Like, maybe we're learning, the great guys are just that much better. The guys who suck could actually use the practice, see what it actually looks like to do a good promo, like instead of just, no, you did fine, kid. We just needed you out there for 10 minutes. I didn't care what you look like. Like that, now we're just, so we have the Seabiscuit problem where we're teaching him how to lose. We need him to learn how to win again. But so I guess a lot of good could come out of that extra practice. But no, that's another great point to all of these audience-less shows and things that I'm not even considering. That Edge promo was one that meant a lot. Like emotionally was like, oh my God, this is a lot to take in. I mean, it does go. I know we're not quite at AEW yet. It does go to say how great and what a waste Cody was in WWE, because now these promos we're watching in the no audience shows for WWE are like, all right, fuck, these are all promo of the year. And Cody was doing those on a weekly basis to end the fall last year. So to that end, just a quick, as everybody knows, shout out to how great Cody really is. But yeah, if this is something we need to learn, is like a change that needs to happen on I think I'm gonna need to pull that as just a GIF that runs for the podcast. Burping my eyeballs out. But if this is us learning that this is the way half of the show needs to run now, do something else for the live audience. I mean, I don't want to go too far off on a tangent. We can talk more about this in another week. But, I mean, if I go to a hockey game, there's things that are happening on TV that I don't see at the hockey game. And then they do neat things in between periods, like people getting in big old bouncy balls, and they bounce off each other and fly around the ice rink. So that figure something else out to do and make the TV show better.
I think the bouncy ball match, that'll be at the next, AJ Styles versus Undertaker at Payback. Let's kind of close out the show here, because I know we always drag these out too far. But Matt, what was the Wednesday Night Wars? It's now the AEW Slaughter. I took one for the team. I did NXT this week. In the show notes, note 1 says, "Lol, who gives a fuck?" And I wrote that for a couple reasons, because I watched a couple AEW segments, and it was just such well-produced TV. It was funny. The match quality was really good. If you're watching, oh my God, who is Kip Sapien fighting? The guy whose shirt I was just about to wear. Oh my God, the skateboard guy. Matt, what is his name?
Oh, Darby Allin.
Darby. Why couldn't I think of Darby? I just said Arby's for dinner the other day.
I just got it. That was the worst time too, because I just got a text, so I'm reading that while you're struggling.
No, they let him do. I really like that experimental promo he got to do, where he's, the black and white. He's taking out the masks of the inner circle and laying them on a table and burning them. All these symbolic gestures. Then he comes out, has a crazy physical, showcasing of all his moves. Shivani, and you get to hear Cody Rhodes, kind of do the inside talk there on some of the just like tiny stuff, like a headlock. Darby locks it in, and you get to hear Cody, say, "Look at that perfect form, forearm over the ear there. Sapien, he's going to have some cauliflowers here in a couple of years here at the end of his career." And it's just like, man, what insight! This is really fun. And then I go to NXT, and my hopes are so high, because they're having the women in a tournament to get in a 6-woman ladder match, try and get that title in NXT, and it's Aliyah versus Xia Li, and I'm like, oh man, I love Xia Li, that's my girl. And before the match, they show a promo where Aliyah was crying, Like Xia Li actually broke her face. She was bleeding. She's all messed up, and it was kind of, ooh, wrestling's it's still real to me, damn it.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a juicy payoff match. They're having a rematch. Maybe it won't even end clean. Maybe one of them will. Maybe they'll both enter the ladder match. Who knows? Possibilities are endless. And they show Aliyah with her bloody face, and she's bawling her eyes out, like, like cartoonish crying.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, why don't they bill her like that? And then Xia Li's music hits that. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be my favorite match. And the music keeps playing. And Xia Li doesn't come out. And the camera cuts to the back. Xia Li is nursing her knee and crying like a baby.
Not fun.
So I appreciate that second of silence there, because that was Xia Li's career. I was super bummed because I was thinking Xia would get her chance. She could be in the ladder match, but instead she cried. They made both women look ridiculous. One in the promo, so Aliyah was crying. Then they showed Xia crying, and it's not like they're like, this injury. Just got to pop it back in place. It won't pop back in. There's nothing that can be done. It was just like sobbing, weeping, like, oh my God, I'm injured. Oh no. And so then Aliyah, obviously, they're alluding to she's the one who hurt Xia. And this is such a long-winded thing, but it was making me pull my hair out because I was just like, what is wrong with this show? So then they replace Xia Li with a different Asian person. And I feel comfortable phrasing it like that because WWE just did this crap with Angel Garza replacing Humberto Carrillo with Zelina Vega. And I'm sorry, with, she was managing Andrade, then she moved on to Angel, and the only reason was it's not because they're friends, it's because Vince is like at the paint store and he's holding up the, well, these palettes kind of look like they go together. Let's do that. And then, again, this is my second Office reference. It's like Vince went to Benihana and he didn't know if Io or Xia was coming out, and he marked the wrong arm. So then Io had to go out, for Benihana Christmas. So it was all this, and then you turn on AEW and Chris Jericho is yelling at a drone.
Right.
So it's just like completely different, like emotions, the different ways to do the storytelling. I leave the shows feeling bad. I'm watching NXT like, why'd you treat the women like this? Why'd you do these weirdly racist things? And then you go to AEW, and it's this guy on a skateboard lighting a table on fire, or an old man yelling at a helicopter robot. Like, what would you rather watch if I pitched that to you? Women crying? Or a guy yelling at a helicopter robot?
Helicopter robot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was pretty happy that I got to watch
Let's
AEW
put a Twitter
this week.
poll up. Crying women or yelling at a helicopter robot?
Like it didn't... Oh, are we still doing NXT? All right, go ahead.
No, I don't want to. It's just, it was like 2 hours, as every episode is. The only fun part for me was Matt Riddle was... It's like all these... I don't know why they coach these guys to just... horse blind or out into the ring, and now it's time to do my moves a couple times and learn my stuff off the ropes, and it's time to do the pin. All right, match is over. Like, the only guy of the whole 2 hours who seemed to really embrace what was going on was Matt Riddle. He came out, his music's hitting, he's still dancing, he's having a good time. He's fist bumping all these non-fans there and gesturing and taking fake selfies with people in the front row who aren't there. He's pointing at the camera. He's posing in the ring. He's pointing at more people who aren't there, just laughing. There's a moment, too, in wrestling where, two guys of similar ability will grapple, and they'll have kind of a back and forth, and then after the exchange, they're both kind of on even keel. I guess these guys are, a good quid pro quo for each other. They match up evenly. Let us applaud their efforts. Like two guys kind of bowing at each other. That kind of applause. Roddy Roddy and Riddle did that, and then they broke apart, and then Riddle was like doing his own applause at a moment where the crowd would have done it, and then you could see Roddy start to like kind of smile on his face. So thank goodness for Matt Riddle. So remember we used to not get him. I get him now. I'm on board. I'm buying in. I don't know if I'm getting the shirt, but I get it.
Here's my hot take on that happening is that right before Riddle came out, he was like, "You really want me to pretend there's people out here? Yes, go out there. Pretend there's a whole crowd." So he just went ham and overdid it and was like, "All right, I'm going to high five every motherfucker in this building." I like that idea. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And he was kind of just going overboard just to kind of say, this is how ridiculous this looks. But I loved it. Like I say it looks ridiculous, but this is...
I gotta disagree. I think that's just him. I think he's like, bro, we're gonna have fun with there's people here or not, bro. Come on. What? Are they invisible? I can't see them. What?
Well, the key word is fun, because that's what I said earlier in the show. Seems to be the difference for AEW, that they're it's so easy to see the fun that they're having. Like this is where we transition into talking about Matt Hardy and this promo of him teleporting. And you know, like you put it, and you're selling me on it, because at first I was kind of like, I don't know if Jericho's really doing it for me without the audience, but you know, yelling at a drone, only one guy can get that done, and it's Chris Jericho. I mean, not just yelling, like almost what do you want to say, negotiating with the drone, but to
join the inner circle.
Yeah, I think you have the best. You wrote in these quotes here too, like Matt Hardy throwing out the hole of ass. The Bucks.
Jericho, you are a hole of ass. I love that.
I just like all of this is just it keeps coming back to these guys doing what is fun to them. It doesn't always have to be like go back to those WCW days, and why that failed was it just kind of felt like there were too many guys going, no, this is how the business works. And maybe they're still doing that. Maybe I don't want to say that, but maybe they were thinking like the only way for the business to work is me being on top. And now it just kind of feels like the way the business works now is everybody needs to see we're having fun. Because I don't see a title in the ring when Chris Jericho and Matt Hardy are arguing, and it's beautiful. If you catch my drift, I'm saying there's no title, so you don't have to like feign interest because you're like, well, this is the main event. No, it's just you've got two guys that are likely to go at it for the next couple months, and whenever there's pay-per-views again for AEW, you kind of hope that you get a couple of old WWE guys who are escaping the creative stranglehold and see what they could create, the two of them. Number one, an amazing challenge to them. Like, okay, you wanted this opportunity, go set up one of the best feuds of your career. Broken Matt Hardy and Chris Jericho going at it. Le champion. And for us, like we always talked about like how this breeds or the competition breeds like better content, better creative. I think just for themselves, like they're going to want to go out and just prove that anything that they were doing, Chris Jericho being a part of Kevin Owens getting destroyed by Goldberg, and how plans changed for WrestleMania where it was supposed to be Jericho and Kevin Owens for the title, like all that stuff getting thrown out, and Jericho going, God damn it, I am huge, like you are missing it, you are fucking this up. And this is it. This is where they go, no, we are fucking huge, we're gonna do, I mean, like we said, it can't be said enough, really, that this Wednesday Night War, again, it's over. I think it's just what happened is NXT defined itself. AEW, I think their next challenge is to see what they can do to get up against SmackDown numbers and Raw numbers, which is difficult. There's a lot of tread on them tires that it's tough to get up to that point. But I'm I think to put the capper on this, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I so the rest of what happened on AEW. You know what? This is the other part. Tony Schiavone calling out himself and saying he was nervous to call last night. If it's not about these guys having fun, they seem to be way more open and honest with what's going on, and I think they're allowed to do that because they're making so many great their own individual creative choices. So then
Right.
Schiavone knows that he's got the fans backing him up. So maybe we're not going to ever see that, like from like Morrow's just having a bad day. The last thing he needs to do is go out and get himself more worked up by like doing some Twitter conversations. And I'm speaking, of course, to Morrow's. I'm sorry, his mental afflictions. I can't think of what the hell he's got. There's a whole ESPN 30 for 30, and HBO has a thing about it. Jesus. Anyway. Tony Schiavone just comes out and says, "Fuck, I'm nervous," and I love that. I love seeing like the openness. I love seeing the human side that's coming out here. And going back to Matt Hardy, what is more human than just seeing a guy that wants to have fun? Because we know that this is fake. Like, you can't get upset that he teleported because they're also not really fighting. So I'm a guy. I've got my Fiend mask here. I got my little buddy right here. I love that shit.
Yeah.
That's probably that's what we gravitate towards. I mean, that's why the Undertaker's still relevant. Like, let's do some more fun shit.
Like Matt Hardy, obviously, he's not for everybody. I think he's definitely for us. But I just a show that's gonna have a grown man yelling at a helicopter.
Right.
A teleporting man, a
Brody.
dinosaur man. Brody, my God, what a promo that guy cut. Where he's basically, he's eating a steak in front of his subordinates, and one of them dares to take a bite, and Brody just berates him and belittles him, because the real big dog, he eats first. I don't know if he's going to be a big lion or what, but anyway, he's head of the Dark Order. He definitely came off as intimidating. It was a super cool power move. And it's a character I think a lot of people, if you watch that, are like, whoa, I want to see more of this guy.
Yeah, there's some people that are saying this is going to go, at least maybe it's hinting that this is like a Vince McMahon type of character, which I think, I don't know if
the stakes and the sneezing, I guess, that's what I've read, but...
Yeah, like I don't know if I would pick that first. Like it just kind of feels like there's too much bad blood there, kind of thing. Like it feels like you can't let go. If that's the creative choice, I think I'll wait to judge it completely until it all plays out. I'm hoping that's not it. But what did happen, I'm a huge fan of.
That's like this much of the pie, like But he's also getting to kind of do his own. It's not a Bray Wyatt. It's not like a caricature of Vince. It's not, just the Luke Harper that we knew. I just think it's kind of a little potpourri of all these things that he's kind of been, pocketing character-wise and emotionally to create this new being that it looks like it could be a main event player. Like he's that strong on the mic. We love his moveset. I always liked his big boot. Because it wasn't always that static one where you just go like this and people run into your foot. He would like lean into it, and then his leg would come crashing down to really add emphasis to it. His big discus lariat I always liked. So it's it's creativity on putting a spin on the old clothesline. He put his own stank on it. It looks good. And I don't know, Matt. That's
well. Plus, I mean, an amazing match of Kenny Omega and Sammy Guevara.
Oh, right.
That AAA Mega Championship match. What's funny? I don't know why I want to bite that belt so bad. It looks like a real chunk of gold, and I just want to see it kind of get that little index. Yeah. I every time I see it, I'm gonna bite right on top of it. But no, this is a super cool idea, and. Like, of course, these guys turned in like an amazing match. there's not much to say about this, but I have seen, you know what? I've complained a little bit about Kenny Omega and getting to see enough of him, or making sure that everything makes sense when he's out in the ring, or there's just been some it's not even confusing. It's just maybe some laziness in his booking. Like there isn't too many long-term feuds, except for like the Jon Moxley stuff. But
yeah,
I
think that's a fair criticism for AEW. It kind of feels like he's just there
Kenny
to like help
Omega.
somebody prove themselves. Boop, boop.
Yeah,
And so he just kind of floats around, in these 1 or 2 week feuds. So I think that's fair. I was just gonna say kind of going back and forth with like what you said was the main event with goodness gracious, Omega.
Mm-hmm.
On the other end, Matt, like he doesn't have any feuds, and NXT is just kind of like clinging to like the one feud they've had over the last year, and that was Ciampa and Gargano.
Right.
Remember last year we were supposed to get the big payoff match, and Ciampa hurt his neck.
Yep.
So NXT did overtime, went over the 10 p.m. limit, so Triple H could come out and say, "This is the end. This is the last time you guys are fighting each other, and if you fight again after, something bad's gonna happen." So, like, Triple H cut a heel promo on a heel and a face.
So basically, when he said something bad's going to happen, both of these guys are jumping over to AEW, and they're going to do a "you're both fired" match.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my instinct. That's what I figured.
Well, you know how good Triple H is. He was really good on commentary the other night.
Yeah.
I think he's really good off the cuff. He's cut good promos. That's where that's how he got where he's at. But it was just weird because he said to Gargano and Ciampa, "You guys are going to end it. All right? It's not going to be in WrestleMania. I'm going to get you an empty building. And you guys are going to end it."
Cool.
Thanks to COVID, like every building's empty. What kind of offer is that? All right, listen, you guys. I am gonna sell you air. I know you're breathing it right now, but I'm gonna sell you some air. What do you think of that?
Sounds good to me. Sign me up.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, is this really that big of a? I mean, I'd rather they were in a boneyard. I don't understand what an empty building. What does that even mean? We're in an empty building. We're in one right now, cutting this promo. WrestleMania is in an empty building. Are we gonna fight at WrestleMania? And it's kind of, I guess alluded to that won't be at WrestleMania weekend. So I don't know how big a deal this match is gonna be.
Is it next week? Aren't they doing?
I don't know. They said it might be in 2 weeks, but WrestleMania is kind of in 2 weeks, but not really. So it might main event an episode of NXT. So yeah.
What'll be? They're doing like that ladder match.
They're kind of doing a takeover thing, but not really.
Right. Like it's like some takeover matches planned for takeover.
Yeah. So
you're not super stoked? I will say, if we aren't excited about it, it does go against sometimes what we say, where it's just like, you know what, these cool matches are happening. Like, let's just enjoy the fact that we get to see them. So sometimes that's kind of what we have to step back, and it like the situation sucks, but I mean we should still enjoy a Gargano Ciampa match. Like
absolutely, yeah, they're wonderful. It's just astounding that the booking is just. Matt, I have a question for you. Would you rather watch Gargano and Ciampa in a "This Is the End" empty arena match, or
where they both go to AEW after?
No.
Oh.
Or Velveteen Dream,
yeah,
versus Orange Cassidy?
Oh, that is super intriguing. Oh my god! Oh, the parallels of both of their like the fandom that they have, and probably their career track of never winning a title. Ooh, doggies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dream and Orange Cassidy on that one.
Guess what? In this universe, you can get both. Ciampa and Gargano are going to fight in 2 weeks. Velveteen and Orange Cassidy have already fought, and it's on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
This isn't old Velveteen where he's not his character. Velveteen is the North American champion in this fight and Evolve, fighting Orange Cassidy at the peak of his powers with a bottle of orange juice at ringside.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is, because that would be me going, all right, the match exists, so I should be happy and I should just go watch it. So,
but you're not allowed to watch it for 2 weeks, Matt. You're gonna watch it while the rest of us are watching Ciampa and Gargano.
All right, I'll live tweet that. I'll go for my @ClinkMatt. All right, so if you want to follow along though on our regular Twitter account, go to @BOD Podcast. Find us on Instagram. For all of our meaning is brothers_of_underscore discussion. Got to point out, wearing the Red Wings hat, find our Red Wings podcast. We are at BOD Hockey, and we are the Discussion 5. What else? What I want you guys to check out is just a quick promo. So I'm trying to help out our the Hockey Podcast Network a little bit here. But one of our affiliates is
would it help your promo if I pretended I was a helicopter?
Well, if you do that, people are only going to see me talking. So you could do that, and then nobody will see you. So you can have fun on your camera if you like.
Okay. I feel like it's going to sound like a weird ASMR video or whatever those were. It's just me going.
It's so fun. Everybody's going to, I hope everybody sees this, but I thought somebody just said my name behind me. So I just jumped up and turned around. All right.
Yeah.
So one of our affiliates with the Hockey Podcast Network is CBD Medic. We are looking forward to hopefully doing some work. But in the meantime, THPN will get you 10% off anything site-wide. So the link is going to be something we're going to share on BOD Podcast at BOD Podcast on Twitter. Highly recommend you guys check this stuff out. Now, I am an avid affiliate fan when I'm listening to podcasts because you get these huge discounts, and all you got to do is follow like a single link on a podcast. So go to @BOD Podcast, click the link that I'm going to share. It'll be going out for what day is today? So it'll be Friday morning. And then use the code THPN to get 10% off site-wide. And again, that's helping out the Hockey Podcast Network, who are our new buddies, and why I'm wearing this Red Wings hat right now to remind you guys to check out @BOD Hockey and the Discussion 5 if you're a fan of the Detroit Red Wings. So Mike is making fun of me. Again, he doesn't remember. Nobody can see his webcam while I'm talking.
What?
So,
damn it! I'm doing all this hijinks for nothing.
Yep.
Oh, man. All right. I'll just make myself laugh over here. Matt, as you were.
Well, that's it. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. We greatly appreciate it. Even if you're watching this on IGTV or YouTube, I do hope that you could take a moment, do us that favor. We're on episode 123. We're just going to keep on rolling even through COVID-19. So as a favor, we're now giving you video content because we love you guys so much. So share this stuff, and please, on Apple Podcasts, it's going to help this podcast move up the ranks. And of course, like I said, check out that link @BOD Podcast so you can get 10% off your CBD supplies. Woohoo! All right, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Wait, Matt, before we go, I want you to do one last thing for me. On camera, give us one big Randy!
Wait.
Wait, hold on.
Let me show me.
Oh, you got your McIntyre shirt on.
Yeah.
My big Randy.
I got my McIntyre with his big old schlong sword.
His schlong sword.
He's holding it right at his dick.
Is he gonna have sex with a sheath? I don't understand what that means.
I would hate to see his significant other. All right, let's do it. Randy. All right, everybody. Let's sail off into the sunset. Mike, thank you for doing a video recording with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.